Right then, this video is going to be about me building an off-road mobility scooter. Do apologise, I'm a little bit sick. Here, though, you'll see the mobility scooter as it was with its original wheels and, well, how it was. I then removed the rear axle, got a lawnmower, a Westwood lawnmower rear axle, and with 2 bits of 50mm box section, bolted it to the chassis at the back, as far back as possible, to give me as much clearance to make it look correct with the original wheel arch. I do plan on building this the best I can without needing a welder. So far, I've not needed a welder, and most of it's done now at the time of this edit. But hopefully when I'm done, there won't be any welding necessary. The whole thing will just be bolts and drilling holes and cutting things. So theoretically, someone else could copy this. I'm not saying you should, because, you know, but if they wanted to, it's an option. But I'm not saying you should. But yes. Right, here we go. So I think the first thing you're going to see will be the engine. Okay, so currently trying to work out how to mount the engine right now. I'm hoping there'll be enough room for the motor underneath. I don't know how big the motor is though. The plan is to have that as factory, just where it came from. If I can get it in, there you go. Hopefully we'll have the motor sat in this massive area. I'm hoping there's enough room in there for it. Should be. If not, we can lift it up slightly, that's not a problem, but hopefully there's enough room there. Still got to make up the front axle mounting, but that's okay. Just trying to figure out how to mount this. Which I think what I'm going to end up doing is putting either angle on a box section along here, and just sit it out the back here. Right, so now we've got a little frame on there, and then you can pick the whole thing up with that, so that'll be fine. 2 bolts, or 3 bolts. That'll hopefully support the engine here, and that should hopefully keep things. I know I know the bolts are way too long in the piece, but that's all I got right now, and I want to get on with it. So yeah, let's get on with it. Right then, engine's on, pulleys in, get that off. So got quite a bit of room there for clearance. This can wibble around a bit and it's not going to touch it. And it's on there enough that I should be able to just okay. That runs really well for a, where is it on there? 1968 engine. Hopefully she'll have the poke to run the alternator, which the plan is to run that in there. It'll live somewhere, you know, inside of that little hole. So we've got a bit of clearance there. Belt directly off the engine. And that should be good like that. That can just live there. And all I got to do is then just run whatever voltage into here, and it'll output the voltage I want out of there. At least that's the plan anyway. So then this will be direct to the engine. Now there'll be a wire from here to the motor, to the imaginary motor that's going to be in here, which will be, I think, belt driven will be better. Just depends on my room constraints. I'm hoping to get it somewhere here. And you just control it with the, hopefully, with the original mobility scooter wiring. Plug that straight into the thing. And as you ramp it up, it'll tell this to go more volts, and it will go faster and faster and faster till it blows up. And then if you want to do emergency stop, literally all you got to do is just cut the connection to that wire, and the alternator will stop running, and all this will be dead. But yeah, you can see how it's all bolted in. Axle, I've had to put a spacer in there. Look at my wonky bolt. Just a bit of 50mm box just to space the axle down. Visible there and there. To the original chassis. Well, chassis. That is this piece. They're the 2 bolts for the axle. No, they're not. These 2 bolts go to the box, which hold it to that. And this piece of box is all just bolts. It's all just bolts. It's all bolts. We've then made a pinch bolt into there for the handbrake. So when I pull the handbrake cable, you can see it's pulling on there. Needs adjustment, but that's okay. It also needs a spring to return it back. And that's just round under there, into that hole and up the thing too. If I can get to it, just a nice handbrake cable. One thing I wanted to quickly show was, so this is the head, I suppose you could call it, of the mobility scooter. And it's got these all rubber cutouts. Well, my nails just scratched that. And what was pure luck was on this side, the cutout was perfect for the handbrake. So that's gone straight in there. I don't need to move it. I don't have to drill a hole or anything. Literally, it's the body-wise, I've not had to drill any holes into the plastic. I've just had to route the cable down that side and down under there. I need to cable tie it up yet because it's just dangling down here. But yeah, it goes along and then into there and onto the brake. Quite a simple setup, but it works. So we have brakes. We can stop. We can go. Not really much more you need. But back here, the overall build is quite simple. They're the original holes for the original axle. It bolted in just this way. So the axle used to live inside of here, which I'm sure you can tell by the arch gap. That's where the wheel would have been, so the axle would have been in there. Because it looks real cool this high up, we've gone for underneath us with this axle. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And we'll see what happens when I actually get more bits. I'm really struggling now to carry on with the build for this week because I'm waiting for bits. I'm waiting for a front axle out of another lawnmower. I'm waiting for the motor to know where I can put any of that. It is all sort of just a guessing game, but I thought, well, I might as well bolt the engine on and I might as well see if I can bolt the alternator in. Or at least, I don't know if that'll be done today, but I'll give it a go. Right, real quick, I just want to show my very crude way of doing the adjuster for the alternator. So that is just bolted directly into the angle iron, and because of this stupid mounting for Land Rovers, I've made a, well, just got a bit of box section, went straight across, drilled through the angle, and just put it straight down into the box. And that is now on there, ain't going anywhere. Yeah, just got to get my pulleys lined up now. All I've got to do is move the engine one out, might even turn it around. But I'll fix that problem anyway. But there we go, we're getting there now. Alt and air engine are both on. It ain't going anywhere. Lovely.